everyone, Karen Rockhind here, your life purpose coach, taping with my puppy Charlie, all about how you can stop resisting and start surrendering and choosing to be happy. So it might sound like a whole bunch of BS to hear that you can actually choose happiness, and the word surrender, it's like everywhere in self-help. And if you're like me, I used to be like, it's impossible to surrender, it's impossible to just let go, it's who the heck are you kidding? It's a bunch of like woo-woo crap. And what I have learned is the exact opposite. I've learned that the more I hold on to anger, the more I hold on to resentment, the more I hold on to hating what is and just saying, I don't want this, I don't want this, without making the choice to change it, then I'm just keeping myself in a jail. And in that moment, I'm choosing to be unhappy. So a couple of years ago, when Josh and I were deciding if we would get married, you know, he was living in Philadelphia, he has a son, and I was living in New York, and I was like, that's what I want to live in New York, and we broke up. And I found myself just so devastated and so sad. I missed him. And so I decided I'm going to choose him over where I live, and choose him over these circumstances. And like, we worked out a whole arrangement that in 4 years I get to choose where we live for the rest of our lives. I was like, oh, that's going to make me happy. Okay. So I moved to Philadelphia, and maybe this is going to sound like being a brat to you, but I resisted it. I was like, I hate being here, I don't want to be here, counting down the days, 4 more years, ugh. And then I would get mad at him, and I would get really mad at his son, and it was not pretty. So as much as you might know me for, you know, knowing the science of happiness and teaching you purpose, I wasn't living it. I was really resisting being happy. And what I've learned is that you're always making a choice. So the question is, are you going to choose to be happy, or are you going to choose unhappiness? So if you're choosing to stay stuck in a situation that makes you truly unhappy, then you're actually choosing unhappiness. And whenever you're stuck, let's say you're unhappy in your job, or you're unhappy where you live, like I was, or you're unhappy in your marriage, you have 2 choices. You either can leave it, which is difficult. I'm not saying that that's easy, it's difficult. Or you can choose to change your perspective on it. And I had a realization at the end of last year, beginning of this year, that I was spending so much time resisting living here, resenting being here, hating on it. It's like I was basically saying, F you, Philadelphia, I'm not gonna love you. Philadelphia doesn't care if I love it. The only person I was making miserable was me. Actually, not the only person, because I was making my husband miserable too. Constantly guilting him that I was here because of him, that it was his fault, which is ridiculous. And because I could choose, right? If I hated it that much, I could choose to leave. Or if I wanted to choose to change my perspective, I could do that too. And so the decision that I made at the beginning of this year was that I was going to choose happiness, and choose happiness here. And I was going to really start looking at, how can I love being here? So we bought this beautiful house, and I have this beautiful yard, and even though I resisted the burbs for so long, I have to say it's so nice to have green space. And we had lost my dog last summer, and so we chose to get a new puppy, and Charlie's only a few months. Charlie, hey! And choosing to really love having him and taking him to the park and meeting people. And then the last month or so, I've been really choosing to make new friends here. I reached out and said, hey, does anyone know about, at our synagogue, does anyone know about book club? Reached out to people who I met a couple of years ago and haven't been in touch with. And I had this realization, and as I was driving to the grocery store yesterday, like, my life's pretty good. Like, I'm actually happy here. Not faking it, not pretending, not just putting on the smiley face because I'm a happiness coach. Genuinely, I chose happiness. Now listen, you don't have to choose to change your perspective. If you're really miserable in your marriage, or you're really miserable at work, take a look at it. The right choice for you might be to leave it. Or the right choice for you might be to change your perspective on it, to lean in, to let go of the anger and the resentment, and love what is. Find what's good, engage in what's good, create what's good. And then, if you can't do that, then choose to go. The one thing I urge you, I beg you not to do, is what I did for the first year of living here, which is to choose unhappiness, choose misery, and choose resentment, choosing anger. It's a horrible way to live. With that, my loves, choose happiness today. I'm gonna go back to playing with my baby. Maybe we'll go to the park. Love you. Bye for now.